Welcome to Just Jaina, episode X-teen. You're about to hear a story of the very first time I went out in public, dressed as myself. And this happened about... Well, no, I can tell you when it happened. July 4. Duh. July 4, 2019, I went out into public as myself, and I was terrified. I apologize for any awkward pauses or loose tangents during this video because I am pretty crap at organizing things, so I'm just gonna talk and let the words follow. So on July 4, this was shortly after I had my very first makeup session with my drag queen friend, Chad. Chad did up my makeup, showed me how beautiful I could look with professional makeup, and I was floored. I looked in the mirror, and as awkward as it sounds, I fell in love with the girl I saw, the girl I will become. We played around in our backyard, and even in our private backyard, it felt really awkward, and I was terrified. Like, what if someone saw me through one of the holes in the fence, or what if someone came over? I was just terrified of even being in the backyard. But something clicked that day. I did a photo shoot, and I will try to remember to post it in the description. Poke me if I don't. But yeah, I did a photo shoot, and I have a cool album, and that really inspired me, and it gave me a lot of confidence. Like, hot damn, I look like a hot woman, and I up until then I didn't see myself as a hot woman. I saw myself as a girly male. This was the first time I saw myself as a woman and felt like a woman. So 2 days later, or 2 or 3 days later, we went, sorry, mixing up my two stories. 2 days later, it was July 4, and I decided not to go to the fireworks display with my wife and her family because, well, at the time her mom was very against me transitioning, and she still is, and she would have thrown a big fit if I had gone, because I would not have gone in boy mode, because by this time I was committed to presenting full-time, and this was a few weeks before my HRT appointment, so I had no benefit of estrogen, just like I don't really have any benefit of estrogen now because it's only 2.5 weeks. So I wanted to go out, and I wanted to face my fears of going out. So I dressed up, did my own makeup as good as I could, and I did my own photo shoot, and I will also post those in the description. And I felt really good about myself. And my wife was out. It was around 8 to 9 p.m., so the fireworks displays were about to get started. And I thought of a very significant, meaningful park that is just down the road. I will share the stories of the park maybe in another video, basically where I found freedom as a young 20-something. So what better place to present full-time than this park? And the thing about this park, it's on top of a very large, tall hill. So you can see all around you, in all directions, the horizon. So I knew that I would be able to see fireworks, and I knew that there would be a lot of people around. But because it was night and everyone was so focused on the fireworks, I knew that I would have some comfort and security of not being the focus of attention. But I still expected a lot of people to maybe look and point and gasp and do double takes and jaw drop. I expected the worst, and I braced for the worst. So I built up the courage, and I packed my new purse, and I stepped out that front door, and I closed it, and I locked it, and I felt that I was locked out. Even though I had the keys, I felt like, oh my gosh, I am exposed. I had dressed in all black, so I would be less noticeable. It was a black tank top looking thing, I think, with a black skirt. And I didn't like how it was just black, so I tied one of my wife's very large scarves around me in an A-line fashion. So on the left, it would be up here, and then it would taper down to the right. So I looked pretty spunky and cute, I thought. But I was not ready for people to notice me. So that was where the fear came in, and that's where my courage and confidence came in. And my wife is gesturing to me through the window, so I will. Wait a moment. I can't. Okay, sorry about that. I can't pause these videos, so it's awkward when someone wants to get my attention. Alright, so I drove there, and my jaw dropped when I saw a line of cars a quarter-mile long leading up to the park. And I knew it would be really packed, so I parked at the end, and I got out. The walk I was about to take is forever ingrained in my memory. Because there was a line of people walking to and from the park. And there was only one sidewalk, and it was dangerous to walk on the road, so I had to walk past people, like almost bumping shoulders. It was that crowded. And the courage and confidence I had to muster in that moment was fresh and new, because I had never had to exercise that muscle before. So I started walking, and I was mortified, and I would walk behind people, hoping they wouldn't turn around. Then people started coming toward me, facing me, and at the time, I was wearing my long hair down, and it came like this. So my hair was hanging like this, and every time someone passed me on my right, I would turn like this, so that all they saw was long purple hair. And then someone would pass me on the left, and I would quickly fix it. And I did that for a while. But after a few times, I'm like, no, I need to show the world who I am. So I pushed it back, kind of like how it is now. By the way, my hair is pretty messy right now because I just went on the very first 2-mile run in probably 8 months. So it got a little sweaty, I took a shower, and now it's just out of my face. So, yeah. I think there was only one person who did a prolonged gaze. And it wasn't, as I've come to know the body language of people clocking you, or what, I don't know the right term for this, but a stranger sees you and might notice something. Anyway, I only noticed one person looking at me in a way that might be perceived as, hey, they noticed something off or mismatching about how I was presenting and my biological self. But it could have been, hey, maybe they thought I was cute. I don't know. So one after another, I pass. Finally, I get to the park, and it is a mob, a zoo, a sea of people. Fireworks were just starting, so people were congregating in the front areas of the horizon. And I saw a spot, like further up on the hill, that was isolated. But I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I have to be among these people. So, oh my God, I was shaking. I was nervous. I was like wanting to abort mission, but I kept walking deeper into that crowd. And I'm so glad I did. When I got into that centermost point and looked around me, and I saw some people facing in my general direction, other people watching fireworks, I look down and I see feminine apparel all on me. And I see the people, and my brain, the part of the brain that didn't get the clue yet, put those things together, and I had a oh shit moment. But all of the intensity and drama of that oh shit was quickly turned toward, I am freaking doing this. I am doing this. Here I am in this crowd, under fireworks, as myself, and nobody is giving me trouble about it. So I must admit, I twirled a bit. I held my skirt, I just kind of like twirled around. I couldn't help it. Like looking up at the stars and the fireworks, I was in the moment. And the greatest rush of euphoria hit me. Gender euphoria and just general euphoria. I felt one with myself. I felt peace in the moment. I felt peace in the world. I just wanted to hug myself and smile for hours on end. It was the most amazing experience, and all of my fear left me. My fear turned into thrill. Thrill being excitement and euphoria paired with, holy shit, am I gonna die? And the night ended, and something clicked. I'm like, this is it. This is who I am. I can't deny it. I gotta do this again. So then I joined some friends a couple days after to like go to a few shops to buy stuff and go get some food. My euphoria had reset and the fear returned. They literally had to pry me out of the house. My best friend from childhood, and gay, and again Chad, the guy who, good guy or girl, he goes both ways. The guy who did my makeup. So they pulled me out of the house. I was wearing the same thing because I didn't have anything else at the time, and I had to place an order. And I remember it was a burrito place where you go down the line and they ask you what you want on your burrito. Well, I was facing this guy directly, and he was staring into my soul, and I knew he knew. And that was the very first encounter while presenting. And I was really nervous, and I stuttered, and he knew I was nervous, which made it worse. But that situation also gave me so much confidence in not only being out in the world or in public, but also dealing with people face on. And I'm glad I did that as well, because those two outings really shaped the coming 2 weeks. Because it was only 2 weeks after that I began presenting full-time. I hadn't planned on presenting full-time for another year or two. Well after HRT kicked in. So it just came out of nowhere, and I think it was because I faced my fears and realized it's not as bad as I thought it would be, at least in this area. So that's my story. My story is unique to me, but perhaps it could be useful to you if you are in the same area I was in. I'll have more stories like this as time goes on, because my journey has been anything but normal, even for a transgender person, because craziness and strangeness and weirdness follows me, and I embrace it. As I say, I embrace my crazy, and I embrace my strange. So I hope you have a great day, and I wish you the greatest of confidence. Please reach out to me if you want any advice or feedback or opinion, or if you want to hear more, because I am passionate about you, my family, people going through what I have gone through, what I am going through, and what I will go through. Thanks for watching. This is just Jaina, and I will see you next episode. Farewell.